So last week we had good questions and I simply tried to answer it. Those questions are secondary questions. The main question is that why I am suffering, why I have a fear, why I am having an anxiety, why I have a duality. We don't want to discuss it. We don't want to understand it. Why? Because we escape from it. And just examine your daily life. More or less every day we have a bodily discomfort or some kind of a challenges, maybe because of the physical pain, maybe because of the illness. We have emotional turbulence every day, more or less, in a relation or somebody has said something. We have an intellectual confusion. Our intellect is often clouded by the doubt, indecision, inability to discern what is right and good, and that leads to intellectual suffering. So you see, there is a bodily suffering, there is an emotional suffering, there is an intellectual suffering, and then we have an interpersonal problems. It is not in between husband and wife, it can be between the two people. You go to Walmart, any store, and there you have an interpersonal problem. Oh, that cashier doesn't pay any attention, she looks crazy, I have a problem. And then we have unfulfilled desires. There also we have a problem. Then we react. We have a kind of suppression. Sometimes we suppress our thoughts and emotions. Again we suffer. And then we have a fear, and the sense of insecurity is already there. So we are suffering almost at all the different levels that constitutes life. So I never think that why I am suffering and how I am suffering. So our master says we have misplaced priorities. We prioritize external things like the wealth, power, possession as the source of happiness. Now you see the systematic answer. Rather than internal development, I have to look inside. I don't want to look inside. And that leads to the suffering. So I'm answering why. So we identify with the body and mind complex, which is inherently filled with the desires. Body and mind is nothing but the desire. So unfulfilled desire leads to the suffering. So we are examining, we are understanding attachment. We get attached to the people, objects and situations. And now I am attached, so I want a nearness, but the guy, person or a situation leaves me, then I am suffering. So I am not able to examine. I don't want to examine, or I am not able to examine. I am living in ignorance. This is what the ignorance is. I don't know what I am doing. And whatever I do, I enter into conflict. Whatever I do, I enter into the conflict. So there is a sense of ignorance. And now what happens? I have acquired certain habits. And there is a resistance to change. I have started this session, Charlie, this is for you. The questions that you have asked in the beginning, in the last week. So we should understand, we should ask the right question. And our mind is a materialistic orientation. I forget this, and I guess God doesn't give me the money, that's why I'm unhappy. So I'm identifying myself with something outside. So I have to ask that why I'm suffering. Why I am suffering? Is it because of materialistic orientation? It is because I have acquired a certain habit and I resist to change. because I seek a validation from the people and the world outside, because I am attached to something. So I don't want to remove the attachment, and I want to remove the suffering. It is not possible. That we need to understand. We have misplaced priorities. Money will give me comfort, definitely, there is no doubt about it. But money cannot buy happiness. Money cannot buy peace. It can give me convenience, but it cannot give me happiness. So now people start thinking, oh, so you are saying you stop earning money. No. You don't give a value of happiness to the wealth. Keep on earning money. So what happens? Today you earn and tomorrow you don't earn, so you are not in fear. No, I will find another way. That we do not understand. So we have misplaced priorities. That is what the second question is. And third, we always make effort to be happy. We never ask this question to ourselves. We always make every effort to be happy in the world. And then still we become unhappy. Why? Can you tell me the world, anyone in the world says today, then they wake up in the morning and they say, oh, today I wake up in the morning, I will make a self-effort to be unhappy. No one says it. No one says it. Even the non-living being. So because we are given an intellect, I have to ask this question, that every day I want to be happy. I never think to invite any stress and suffering. Instead, I have an emotional suffering, I have an intellectual suffering, I have the physical suffering, I have a sense of anxiety and the fear. The whole day passes and I sleep. The next day, I still have the same thing. So now I'm answering, in a simple way. That is what the journey is all about. So if we say we always make effort to be happy, in peace in the world, but ultimate result is that we become unhappy. Our happiness is short-lived. And because it is short-lived, so we have fear and insecurity. Why? So this is the right question I have to ask. So there our master says, are you searching happiness in the world outside? But the world itself is impermanent, it is constantly changing. So any effort in finding the happiness in the world means in the situation, in the relations, in the people, will always be temporary. Why it should be temporary? Because it is changing. It is changing. Now, then we look at the body and the mind. So there is a wrong identification with the body and the mind. We claim that this body will continue to be permanent. It cannot be. So what happens? I am projecting permanent happiness in the body and the mind where it is not. So I should have an insecurity and the fear. That I need to discuss. That I need to contemplate and reflect. Then yes, external dependency. We should depend for the food, for the house, for the clothes, for the car. Physical necessities. No doubt. But emotional dependence will definitely cause the problem. I need to understand it. I need to go into, sit down on the lazy chair and keep on thinking about it. Does anyone give me that happiness? Car gives me happiness, yes, but it is temporary. So the car cannot give me happiness because the car is changing, the phone is changing. I have to think. The more and more you think every day, the mind becomes clear and it loses the attachment. Then it says, Okay, car is used for a means to travel. House is a means, clothes is a means. And any mean cannot be a center of happiness. We are answering the question, we are always making effort to be happy in the world, but we are not happy. Unfulfilled desire. There is another reason, unfulfilled desire. We remain not dissatisfied. We start the comparison and competition. I should ask myself why I am comparing myself to the other. How can I have a luxury to not have a beard? Then there is another comparison. Huh? There are women here. How can I have a luxury not to have the beard? But then every time I have to make an effort, every day I have to shave, and still the beard will grow. So you see that comparison and competition. We compare and we compete where, if you examine, it is not required. So when you analyze and reflect on it, you are free. Why should I? You are unique in your own way, I am unique in my own way. Let me keep my uniqueness and grow and evolve. And then what happens? The world glitters with so many things. Maybe food, maybe clothes, maybe car, maybe thing, maybe relationship. And I get attracted to that glitters. But what glitters is not gold. I get habituated with what glitters. Initial happiness is always there, no doubt about it. But after that, that happiness fades away, and then we have a problem. We start dreaming marriage will bring the happiness. Marriage is not a certification of happiness. Now majority, 99.9% of the people start seeking happiness. No, I married because of the happiness. But the happiness is not there. Ask yourself why you married. So then your mind will open up. Otherwise it will move in a habitual way, and then you will say, at least, So why we do not know, the main answer is that we do not know our real nature. Master says our real nature is pure consciousness. Means what? We are not the body and the mind. But what we think, we are the body and the mind. So there is a strong identification with the body and the mind. So we have to treat the path of the Eastern wisdom step by step to reach to a point where not only intellectually we understand we are not the body and mind, we experience internally that we are not the body and mind. As we say, this car is mine, but I am not the car. Body belongs to me, but I am not the body. I have an experience, I have a realization. That realization is known as awakening. So until we reach to that state, we have to treat the path step by step. Now ask yourself, why? What question I asked? That question was why we do not know our real nature. It is a lack of self-inquiry. No animal, from the ant to the elephant, wants to know who they are. Why? They don't have a free intellect. They cannot ask this question. They do not have a capacity of the intellect. So what we have that, but still we don't use it. It means what? There is a lack of self-inquiry. We spend time on unnecessary things, gossiping, and a long list. You all know. Another problem of not able to do this self-inquiry is mental distractions, because of anger, because of hesitation, because of competition, because of comparison, because of anxiety, because of duality. We live into that. So what now Eastern wisdom does, it brings the mind to a state of calmness. Your anxiety goes away. A psychotherapist lives in New Jersey, and he or she attends the sessions. So send an email that that person is almost a doctor, taking the anxiety and depression medications, and I got an email that she is totally off from those medications. I don't talk about these problems. Once you treat the path carefully, you follow these principles and do the practice, these problems do not stand in the way. Because my focus is always outside. Anxiety always comes in relationship to something. I'm anxious because you cannot say I'm simply anxious with myself. So you have a clear perception of the world, and you have a deeper, clear appreciation about who you are. It's gone. Science may say that it is very difficult, depression and other mental and psychological problems. Our approach is totally different. When I know that my nature is peace and happiness, how can I have an anxiety? Think of it. How? How and why I have an anxiety? Every day, my friends, you analyze your life every day. You will discover you have one or more physical suffering. You have an emotional suffering. You have an intellectual suffering, means you have a lot of doubt. You have the suffering coming from the world. You have a suffering because of comparison and competition. You have a suffering because of your reaction. So every day you have at least hundreds of moments of getting those suffering. And I sleep without thinking, without inquiry. When I sleep, all my suffering will come to an end. The next day the same thing happens. So I have to ask why the same thing is happening. I don't ask this question. So when I don't ask this question, I move into a non-thinking mode. Non-thinking mode means the mind is already impulsive, instinctive and habitual, and it continues to make an effort to find peace and happiness outside, doing the same thing again and again, doing the same thing every day, every week, every month, every year. How old are we? Expecting a different result. That we don't realize. So then there may be many reasons. It may be habituation, habit formation. It may be a sense of fear and the insecurity. That I am not looking at all. So once we start looking at those things, I have to contemplate. So what the Eastern wisdom is saying, it says that there is a process, there is a way, there is a method. You have to follow step by step. So that is why I say, when you listen and learn again and again, and then you say, yes, I found it today. And the moment you found it, you have contemplated and reflected, you will discover that you are already calm. First time you recognize, oh, I have broken this pattern of the thoughts and the feelings. I have broken the pattern of identification with the body and the mind. And then the life will definitely change. So you see that when I summarize, it means that there is an identity crisis. I don't know who am I. How can you say I don't know who am I? I am so intelligent. Only the intelligent people do not know who am I. Now how can you say that I don't know myself? Are you searching for peace and happiness? Yes. Did you search for peace and happiness? No. So who is that I searching for peace and happiness and did not find it? That is why we say you don't know yourself. I can give you 1 million reasons. No, I have a fear and the insecurity. So that is the I made up of insecurity and fear? I don't know. That is what we want to know. That I is totally fearless. That I, which Eastern wisdom says it is the real self, which is independent of the fear, insecurity, dissatisfaction, anxiety, duality, and a conflict. No, I have lot of fears. So there is a big contradiction between what I know about me and what the Eastern wisdom knows. So I have to bridge this gap. So I have to follow the process. How simple it is. When I say we do not know our real nature, that is what I'm talking about. Why I don't know my real nature? Real self does not have any fear, failure, and frustration. Do I have those feelings of fear, failure, and frustration? Answer is yes. Means I don't know myself. I marry to be happy and become unhappy. So do you have two I? One I who you married that was thinking to be happy, and the second I which was unhappy? Which one is the real I? Which one is the real I? I have to think in that way. So what happens, my false I says that I married to be happy, then it does not mean that I will divorce to be happy. No, I inquire. And what ignorance I find out? The marriage is not a certification for happiness. I continue my relationship. And now, when I continue my relationship, understanding that marriage is not a certification of our happiness, I build a good relationship. I'm not seeking now. I'm not seeking happiness. Why? The relationship does not have that happiness. So question of divorce doesn't come. But now, for example, if the question of divorce come, I divorce, now I will divorce to be happy. So after divorce, after a few weeks and months, you again become unhappy. Look from the other point of view. I have to brainstorming. We talk about brainstorm session. So we have to brainstorm ourselves. Now let me reverse the question. How many married people are happy? And how many who are divorced are happy? And also ask the question, how many single who are happy? And you know the answer. So it means happiness does not lie neither in the marriage, nor in divorce, nor in being single. So when the mind becomes clear, then it goes inside. Then it says, yes, that is the way I have to find out. Answer another question. How we live our life when we do not know our real self. I'm rephrasing the question. I don't know real self. How do I know it? First is the mistaken identity. Second is I'm living reactively. Third is that I'm seeking a validation from others. My life is independent. Why should I seek validation from others? Let me inquire myself within. Why I seek validation? So I've created a self-image about myself. My life is fear-based. Tell me if it is not. My mind is focused on having. Did you understand? My mind is too much focused on having what I don't have. That is not a criteria for happiness. Why? Because I depend on the external things to be happy. That is also the ignorance. That is also the ignorance. You have to listen again and again, each and every, and then you have to no, let me continue. Let me find myself. Let me find myself. So the master says how to find yourself, how to start the inquiry, how to find, how to have an inquiry. Just make a simple way. First, find out the cause. What is the cause of my unhappiness? Second is that we have to see if the cause is made up of the parts, it means I am not there. I am just trying to find the happiness where it is not. I am that I am is cannot be perceived by the sense organs. Sense organs can only perceive the world of name and the form. I cannot see your thoughts. And I have to see, does it have a beginning or an end? So once I analyze the four aspects, contemplate and reflect, then I develop a firm conviction that I am not what I was thinking. I have to continue the journey in order to find the real self. Our mind will not allow us to continue the journey because it will take for granted I know myself. So first I take it for granted that I know myself, then my mind says, you are made up of suffering, you have so many suffering, you are totally unsatisfied, you have fear and the failure and the frustration. So it has blocked you already. You have heard me. In the session you are intellectually understood it. But after the session, mind says, now I will take over you. I am closer than this beer guy. Beer guy is too far. And so which I have to inquire and I have to push the mind. I have to stretch the mind. Why you are thinking in this way? Because we are thinking in this way, so we continue to have that suffering. Then we ask, what should I do? Do nothing. Normally, now I'm just out of joke, I'm saying. It just came to my mind. Normally, all our monasteries in ancient days are either on the Himalayas or on the near the banks. Why? When a seeker does not understand, the teacher scratches the head. Should I jump into the river? Or should I tell the seeker to jump? No, I'm just joking. or jump from the Himalayas. So that is the, every time the teacher has to continue the journey. They are never frustrated. I just made a joke, but that is not a, no, we are not never frustrated. We say, oh, let me present the same topic in a different way, so that it should go inside the head. Close your eyes, and being comfortable. Being comfortable means first find out the most comfortable position of your body. It's a conscious decision. If you ask any animal, are you listening? Be comfortable. They will just look at you. You give them the bite to a dog or a cat, they are happy with that. They are comfortable with that. That is impulsive nature, that I depend on something. Now, when you are comfortable, do you depend on something? Just check it. You're looking at the neck joint. You're simply looking. You don't say that I depend on the neck joint. You become aware and you experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. So, what happens? You are already finding the body as if it is separate from you. Being comfortable helps you to reach to that state, provided you do the practice regularly. Now, looking at the shoulder joints being there. Who is looking now? Ask yourself, it is the mind that is looking. So when the mind looks mentally, mind is not looking through the sense organ. I believe you are getting it. So our sense organ cannot help us to find who am I, because we are not the body and the mind. It means we are something very subtle. So being comfortable is helping you to understand another way of the mind has to work. So that is what, you look at the shoulder joint, you experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness, and the entire body. Sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Look inside. So what do you look inside? You'll see the projected darkness or emptiness. Can you see inside with your eyes? No. But in the beginning of the practice, the eyes will try to focus inside to see something. Eyes cannot see anything when it is closed. Why? Mind is, all the sense organs are one-sided windows. They only open to the world. They do not open inside. Try this out. So by being comfortable, we are learning another way of finding the real self. We are educating the mind. At the same time, we are comfortable, we are at ease. And then being carefree. Being carefree. So being carefree means, I was talking in the morning, so I will repeat the same thing, being carefree. You see the object, which is your car, and many items are in your room. That is known as object. But now when you identify with the object, means you are attached with that object, then you cannot separate it from yourself. Thought is also an object. So I want to see these thoughts are coming and going. Good thought, bad thought. Let me give you a very, can I say, strong example? TV screen. Nothing happens to the TV screen. Whether you are watching a horror film, a romantic film, or any other film. Same way. When I say being carefree, let the thought come and go, let the horror film come and go, let the romantic film come and go. They are coming and going, but there's nothing happens to the screen. That is what I am saying standing across a road watching the traffic. For that we have to work daily without fail. Then only we can reach to that state of being carefree. When thoughts are simply an object like car, your smartphone, inside your head, there is a recognition, and that is going to go a long way in your journey, my friends. For that, we have to make a self effort. We have to be committed and regular. Now we give another clarity to all these influx of the thoughts by a mantra. So mentally you sing Sasato ma satgamaya Asato ma satgamaya Asato ma satgamaya. We go for the meaning, means let me move from the false to the real. Now see that first time our mind wants to move from the false. Whatever is changing is false. Is thought changing? Yes. So you would simply watch these thoughts. Are emotions changing? Yes. Today you are emotionally disturbed. Yesterday you were happy. Day before you were in a different mood. Let's just see that. Look at it. It means they are changing. Oh, what is changing is not me. It is different and separate from me. That is the meaning of moving from the false to the real. Anytime you have any emotion, any thought, any feeling, any idea, instantly you recognize. It is changing, it is false, it is not me. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. What it means? Moving from ignorance to wisdom, darkness to the light. That is the literal meaning. Do you see anything into the darkness? No. But you see yourself through your consciousness. Don't you know that you are, even if there is a complete darkness, you don't forget yourself. That is the way of the Eastern wisdom. We don't need the sense organs to know our true nature. As you know, even in your darkness, that I am. Similarly, even in difficult situation, in frustration and the failure, you know you are separate from them. Mrityorma amritangamaya Mrityorma amritangamaya Mrityorma amritangamaya. It means now I recognize that I do not die. Body takes birth and dies, mind takes birth and dies, but behind, who is the possessor of the body and the mind, never dies. Oh, that is what you are saying. Yes, possessor. Possessor of. Oh, yes, you are right. And in that state, you look inside the forehead. We will purify the mind now, because the mind is already living within. Maintain the steadiness in the body, looking inside the forehead in the space, and start breathing quick, short, and the gentle breath. Quick, short, and the gentle breath through both the nostrils. Continue. Continue breathing, gentle, short breathing. You recognize what? Every time you inhale, the chest expands, and every time you exhale, the chest contracts. And the breath is rhythmic. The mind is looking deep inside the forehead. We don't focus anything on outside. And now stop it, do nothing, experience the sensation and the changes. When you experience the changes, sensation is there, relaxation is there, stillness is there. Move the mind once again on the entire body. You definitely will have new sensations. That's very good. You also experience, you recognize if there was any resistance during the breathing. Just to register as a memory means what? Why you register in the memory? That the second time that you do, you endure the resistance. You don't react to it. So when you do the second time, the third time, that reaction drops. That will take you to a deeper state. Now we'll move to the next step. You look at the breath and start the breathing deep, silent and slow. Don't do in a hurry. Pay attention, slow, deep and silent breath. So both the nostrils, it goes deeper. It is deep, silent and slow. There is another way. As you inhale, find out that you inhale first into the belly, that expands. You continue breathing and that goes into your chest. You breathe out, exhale. So it's a little deep, it is silent, it is slow. We make the breath rhythmic and check it. It is rhythmic. And now, as you inhale, on the breath, on the inhalation, you drop 3 Om Shanti. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Why we are doing it? We want to raise our awareness. That is all. Now, as you inhale, drop only 2 Om Shanti. We are continuing with the same practice and then we will deepen this practice. So, in that way, you can definitely progress. So, the breath is the same, but 2 Shanti. And now only one time. And now allow the breath to be normal. Do nothing. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences now. How are you, Anne? Ah, unmute it.
What,
Yes,
what's happening here?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
No, neither can I see me. No. I don't know what's happening here.
Video icon.
Oh, video. Okay.
Nothing happened to the computer. We did something by mistake.
All right. Anyway, I feel great. The inner stillness. Do you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can
Oh
hear you.
no, I'm completely messed up. So the flower lets me. Okay.
Oh, that's very good. That's really good.
I'll figure out what I how arrange that.
How,
Yes.
how are you, Charlie?
Okay. I don't know what to do. We'll see.
Now keep trying. Keep trying.
Okay. Let me see.
In the meantime, Charlie will talk. Yes.
Anne's a beautiful flower. Um, I'm good. There was something in your words tonight that something in me resonated with and went, oh, I can't give it any more words than that, but I just felt something shift.
Yeah. Any word, any statement, if it goes deep inside our head and we saw, oh, that is the way, and then we have to follow that. These are simply, I'm not talking from my own, these are the principles of Eastern wisdom. So when it starts, it goes deep inside, and then we recognize, oh, this is what it is. And in those moments, our anxiety, our frustration drops completely.
Right.
Sometimes it takes time, sometimes it happens. It has nothing to do with who is more intelligent or less intelligent. It is just becoming a seeker. Beautiful.
Right.
Yeah,
I wasn't really trying. I just felt different.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like, oh, that's nice. I like
yeah,
that.
yeah, 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 yeah. That is the right way. How are you, Mead?
I feel very calm,
Very calm. Good,
a kind of steadiness
good,
and a dedication. I want to dedicate.
very good. Yeah,
Oh, that was so
dedication,
wonderful.
commitment to yourself. It is not commitment to anyone. Commitment to yourself that I have to find myself will help us to go deeper.
Yes.
That is all for today. We will meet again next week. Thank you.
Thank you.